From the Detroit Free Press, it's Tuesday, May 4th. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Calling all foodies, Bush's is hiring. Are you passionate about food, looking for growth, development, and excellent wages? Come grow with Bush's and apply online at bushes.com/join our team. That's Bush's, BUSCHS.com/join our team.
I'm Clara Hendrickson for the Detroit Free Press. The first sales of legal recreational marijuana in Michigan took place mere months before the coronavirus pandemic. And while the pandemic has seen many businesses shutter, it's been boom times for the state's budding adult-use cannabis industry. Sales in the adult-use market have more than quadrupled during the pandemic, reaching nearly $100 million in total sales in March 2021. Retailers across the state attribute the surge in sales at their own stores to the growing social acceptance of cannabis use and the stresses brought on by the pandemic, which has inspired many to find new ways to cope, they say. The pandemic also marked the first payout to counties and localities from the state excise tax on adult use products. That's helped communities home to retailers fill budget holes left by the pandemic. Communities say they plan to use the money to fund everything from pickleball courts to criminal justice initiatives.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Jasmine Barmore. For 24 years, Yabaya Butler Hall never experienced a time where she taught new students without meeting them in person until last September. The pandemic kept Detroit Public School students in virtual learning as opposed to in-person classes. Over the course of the school year, Hall became increasingly concerned about the boys and girls who came to class ready to learn, but lacking some of the hands-on resources they needed in order for them to be successful. So for Christmas, Miss Hall, who teaches preschool at Gompers Elementary and Middle School in Detroit, went to each one of their homes and passed out gift bags full of whiteboards, stackable blocks, dice, headphones, and other school-related supplies that would be beneficial to them. Those items, she said, were donated by Donors Choose, which is an education nonprofit crowdfunding site that allows teachers in U.S. public school systems to list supplies they are in need of financial support for in order to take their students' learning above and beyond. 17 teachers from Gompers have listed 42 projects to be funded on the Donors Choose website. Ms. Hall, who has been teaching at Gompers for 9 years, says she is challenging major organizations in Detroit such as Quicken Loans, the Detroit Pistons, Lions, and the Red Wings, along with the big three auto companies to help support students in Detroit. And when asked why these items are so important to teachers, she said it is because teachers look at their students as their bonus children. To read the full story, head to freep.com.
Hi, this is Minna Arshad from the Detroit Free Press. As Michigan's tourism industry reels from more than a year of closing shop, tourism officials say they're ready to turn the corner this summer, and they're starting with National Travel and Tourism Week. For May 2nd to May 8th, tourism leaders and local businesses are sharing their plans for an industry-wide recovery. Jennifer Rook at Michigan Retailers Association encourages people to spend locally this summer. She says if Michiganders switched just 10% of their purchases from outside retailers to local shops, Michigan's economy would earn more than $1.2 billion. Dave Lorenz is the Vice President of Travel Michigan, an organization that provides information on statewide tourism. He says that getting Michigan vaccinated will play a major role in the tourism industry's bounce back. Lorenz doesn't expect a full industry-wide recovery in just one summer, but people's pent-up excitement to travel will certainly fuel a step in the right direction. Lorenz says, "We're too eager to get our lives back."
Dave Burkett here, along with Carlos Menarez and Sean Windsor, and another draft is in the book, boys. The Detroit Lions just finished Brad Holmes' first draft as general manager. Penei Sewell, of course, the first pick. Look, I mean, draft grades, they kind of are what they are, right? I mean, you really assess a class 2-3 years down the road. Everyone knows that. But in the moment, I like what they did. I like the first pick. Maybe I thought there was maybe a little better value in round, 2 than Levi Onwuzurike, but he runs hot and cold with scouts. Some people like him, some don't, and they got some good value on day 3. I'm a fan of what Brad Holmes and the Lions did. Let's hear your thoughts, Carlos, starting with you.
It was almost draft malpractice to take 3 consecutive linemen. I mean, that was just insanity. As you know, I hate the idea of taking an offensive lineman in the first round. It's just stupid. You have too many other playmakers, too many other needs. Penei Sewell will probably be a very good player.
Can I stop you real quick? Let me stop you real quick. I mean, if the Kansas City Chiefs had an offensive line, do they win the Super Bowl? I mean, what is your, why do you hate offensive linemen when that
Or if Tampa Bay
doesn't,
Tampa Bay doesn't have Vea, right, or Vita Vea, do they win to the Super Bowl, right? Or their offensive line. But go ahead, Carlos. Let's not pretend that the team that won the Super Bowl didn't change their record halfway through because of offensive line play. Or, by the way, they got their best defensive tackle back, who they drafted in the first round 3 years ago.
A good offensive line may not always lead you to Super Bowl titles, but it always makes you a good team.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer.